Hope you like this problem here. No calculator. Practice all the stuff without the calculator. You got your area, volume, cross section right there. And I identified, I knew this is a parabola opening up. So that's my parabola like that. And then your cosine graph starts there and goes like that. So there's your G graph, there's your F graph. Area is just top minus bottom. So G minus F. So I did my cosine graph minus my parabola. Just be really careful. We know how to integrate this easy stuff. We distributed the negative. Go from 0 to 2, the x to take across the shape. Just when you integrate cosine, you get a sign. Your u is equal to that weird angle. Your d is equal to pi over 4. So you balance that with the reciprocal of 4 over pi, which becomes a 16 over pi right there. When you plug in the 2 everywhere, you can see my arithmetic pretty easy. But then the sign of 2 pi over 4 is the sign of pi over 2. That's your y value up there at pi over 2, which is equal to 1. And then so you just do some arithmetic right there, get that area right there. So just practice that on your own. Be careful with that angle. Balance that, get that area answer. Now, when you do the volume about y equals 4, so I did my y equals 4 as my horizontal line. We're going to do the disk method. Everything in terms of axis here is going to be the disk method if you're on that A/B test. So there's my rectangle perpendicular to the axis of revolution, and this is one of our 4 big scenarios where you're measuring from that axis down. Your capital R is from that axis down. That's always going to be that number minus y. So your little r is also the distance from that axis down. And that's going to be that number minus y. So both the capital R and the little r are the 4 minus y. And then your farther edge is to your f equation. That's why I got the f of x there. Your closer edge is to your g equation. That's why I got the g of x right there. Now, you can write out the functions if you want to, like these longer functions, but if they call them f and g, you don't need to. You're allowed to just write that as 4 minus f of x, 4 minus g of x. Save yourself a little time, make it a little bit neater on yourself there. You don't have to evaluate this, and you just got to put the setup down, just like we test over a bunch of times. So you got your pi out in front, capital R squared minus little r squared. Use the x's that take you across that shape. Letter C is about cross sections perpendicular to the x-axis, and we're going to use squares. So x-axis, I make a line segment perpendicular to that x-axis. That's my s. You find the length of that s, which is top y minus the bottom y. So it's just going to be top y minus bottom y, which is g minus f. That's what the s is. And that's one side of your cross-section shape. So since we're doing squares, remember for cross-sections, you integrate the area of your cross-section shape. You're going to integrate s squared, and then that's your s, so you integrate that thing squared, and then you're going between 0 and 2, the x's that take you across that shape right there. Chocolate milk.